Bonsoir tout le monde, good evening. Gwe Takina. My name is Laura Rainsborough and I'm the Riverkeeper and CEO, and it is such a pleasure to welcome you here this evening.
Bonsoir à tous. Je m'appelle Maxime Chaumont-Lessard, je suis éducateur chez Garde-rivière des Outaouais et il me fait grand plaisir d'être l'un de vos maîtres de cérémonie ce soir.
So Maxime and I will be co-emceeing the evening. We've got a great packed evening planned for you tonight. Thank you so much for coming. We're very pleased to share this with you. I want to make mention that all staff at Ottawa Riverkeeper are wearing these blue droplets, les gouttes d'eau ce soir. Donc, s'il vous plaît, nous vous présentez à nous de l'équipe avec Garde-rivière des Outaouais. And so you're all welcome to approach us, say hello. We'd love to chat with you. There will be more time for mingling after the program. And so we look forward to that. You can find us by these water droplets. So staff are here. There's a number of board members, committee members. There are community scientists. There are river watchers. There's so many amazing people who make the work of Ottawa Riverkeeper possible who have shown up tonight. So thank you all for coming. And I'll also make mention, I've got a spotter in the audience, that Riverkeeper Emerita, Meredith Brown, is here. Meredith, where are you? There we go. And so thank you again, everybody, for coming tonight. Ottawa Riverkeeper acknowledges and honors that the watershed of the Kitchissippi, known by many as the Ottawa River, is located on the unceded and unsurrendered territories of the Anishinaabe Algonquin Nation, whose people are the traditional and ongoing stewards of these lands and waters.
Garde-rivière des Outaouais reconnaît et honore le fait que le bassin versant de la rivière Kitchissippi, connu par vous sous le nom de rivière des Outaouais, est situé sur le territoire de la nation algonquine Anishinaabe et dont les membres sont les gardiens traditionnels et permanents de ces terres et de ces eaux.
For tonight's program, we'll be sharing stories from the river over the past year, hearing from community scientists, getting a sneak peek at a new report. Everybody loves reports. Announcing the 2023 Water Leader Award and saying thank you to some very special people this evening. Speaking of which...
Veuillez accueillir Geoff Green, membre du conseil d'administration des Gardes-rivière des Outaouais depuis 2005 et président du conseil depuis 2010.
We are so pleased to hear opening remarks from Geoff Green.
Merci Maxime and Laura. Bonsoir tout le monde. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 2023 APM of the Ottawa Riverkeeper. Not a bad place to have it. Our first annual public meeting at River House. And so a night of many firsts, and we're so thrilled that you all could make it. I see lots of familiar faces in the crowd. We've got 3 Riverkeepers in the house tonight. Laura, Meredith, and Elizabeth Logue. My hat sister walked in. Where are you, Elizabeth? Elizabeth actually designed this hat. So, but yeah, tonight to reflect on this year that's almost behind us. Also to celebrate many of the accomplishments that happened this year, thanks to all of you. And to look a little bit forward into the future about some of the exciting plans and opportunities that lie ahead. If it's your first time to River House, welcome. And if it's now a place you've been coming quite a bit, welcome back. Maybe some of you were here earlier this summer to swim on the incredible swim docks. They're not there right now. Not that you'd want to swim tonight, but this is not only the new home of the Ottawa Riverkeeper, but it's really a home for all of you. It's a place for everyone to enjoy and to use and and to call your new river home. So we look forward to so much happening in this incredible space. It's also a place where we're really happy to share with a few other groups. Bytown Catering, who are our caterers tonight. Let's hear it for Bytown Catering. And also, of course, the Ottawa New Edinburgh Club, who have called this place home for 100 years or so. And we're thrilled that they're also going to be moving in to the space later next year. Yeah, let's hear it for the Ottawa New Edinburgh Club. And of course the NCC, the National Capital Commission, who are our tenants, but our partners. Getting to where we are tonight was about a 7-year journey from the initial conversation of having a river house, a home for the Ottawa Riverkeeper that was actually on the river. And 7 years later, thanks to the work of so many people, especially our incredible board of directors. Let's hear it for the board of directors that are here tonight. Put up your... Maybe if everybody on the board could just put up their hand that's on the existing board. And past board members, I see some of you. One of you. But a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into the journey to get here tonight, together with the extraordinary staff of Riverkeeper and so many of our partners and friends. I urge you tonight too to look at some of these incredible photos along the wall that show the evolution of this heritage building here in our nation's capital. It's really an extraordinary and a very special place. And just we'll talk more about this place tonight. So let's get started. Many supporters make the work of the Ottawa Riverkeeper possible, and many of you are here tonight. And tonight's annual public meeting would not be possible if it wasn't for a long-time supporter, and that's Dentons. Last year, in fact, our APM was in the Dentons' newly renovated offices downtown. But here we are tonight, thanks to Dentons, who have supported us in so many ways, and we're really grateful to have them on the Riverkeeper team. So to say a few words tonight, really fortunate to have David Little with us. David is the chair of Dentons Canada's Venture Technology and Emerging Growth Companies, and a managing partner of the Ottawa Dentons office. David.
Hello, everyone. I didn't wear my hat. I was talking with Geoff about that. I do have mine at home, but maybe next year. I'm a little embarrassed to be introduced by Geoff. Geoff, I should be introducing you. It's never a good idea to speak after Geoff either, especially since we're going to get to the substance of the meeting. So I will be brief. On behalf of Dentons, I also want to welcome you to the Ottawa Riverkeeper's annual public meeting at the beautiful River House. Observing the process to move into this terrific new premises, it has been a labor of love, and I'm just so happy to see this meeting taking place here, and Geoff talking about the other tenants. And this place was so vibrantly alive this summer. It was great to see. Our law firm has many offices around the world, and the one thing we all have in common is, for the most part, our offices are located at major confluences of rivers and other bodies of water. So supporting these environments, really top of mind every single day, and thinking about where we are right now, just steps away from the intersection of the Ottawa River, the Gatineau River, and the Rideau River, really brings that forward. And this location really is the major reason why the city of Ottawa grew from this spot. And we're we're so lucky to have it in our backyard, and this is another reason why we love supporting the Ottawa Riverkeeper. I know the team will be updating us all on achievements and initiatives going forward, milestones year to date. But I do want to take the opportunity to congratulate and thank Laura Rainsborough and the rest of the team for such a terrific year of another year of protecting our watershed. Whether it's promoting awareness, leading education with our youth, driving the completion of this facility, or otherwise taking care of the watershed to make sure it's swimmable, drinkable, and fishable for all of us. The Ottawa Riverkeeper is the leader in all that for us. So with that, thank you again for coming, and I will turn the meeting back to the Riverkeeper team, and I will say thank you again for supporting this terrific organization.
Thank you so much, David, and thank you again to Dentons for being the presenting sponsor this evening. Now, I have a few things to share about the last year for Riverkeeper. J'aimerais partager quelques histoires de l'année passée. Le travail de protéger la rivière, c'est un grand exploit, un défi. La superficie de ce bassin versant est énorme, mais en travaillant ensemble et d'une façon stratégique, c'est bien possible. Nous réussissons. But first, let me say a quick but big thank you to everybody this evening who has donated to Riverkeeper. Many of you did so in registering to attend this evening. And if you still wanted to but haven't yet, it is Giving Tuesday. It's a fantastic day to give. And we've put cards on each of the tables that have a QR code to make it just that much easier to give. Because it really is through the donations and volunteering, it is the people of the watershed who protect it. That's really how it should be. We care for our river and we do that together. So thank you. At Ottawa Riverkeeper, we come from very grassroots beginnings of community members coming together to say that this river needs to be protected. There needs to be a champion, a voice, to be able to ensure that its needs are met, that it is defended. And for too long, the public perception was that the river was dirty, or perhaps even worse, that the river was taken for granted. And we had forgotten the most fundamental teaching, that water is life. It nourishes us, it nurtures us. I mean, I even see we're, taking a drink from this beautiful Ottawa River tap water that we have here. We're actually being sustained quite literally from the river, its tributaries, from the incredible veins of the earth. And I know that because you found your way here tonight, that this is not news to you. You understand this, you value and appreciate the river and the role that it plays in our lives. And because of that, you're part of a resurgent community that is really taking the needs of today, the demands of this decade, and caring. You're having active hope in the face of what could otherwise go in a different direction. Et maintenant, ensemble, nous sommes prêts pour les défis du moment et aussi de l'avenir. And what gives me hope, active hope, with Ottawa Riverkeeper is of the next chapter ahead. What we can do from this new space with the invigorated energy of our team and of our supporters, of how we can meet the challenges of today to protect freshwater, biodiversity, to ensure that we have resilience in the face of the climate crisis. So, let me take you on a little journey of how we've been starting in on that work over the last year. Here at River House, we've had our very first year when River House on July 25th opened its doors to the public. When NCC River House opened up to the public, it provided a new access point to the river. So on the Ontario side in particular, there's actually a 27-kilometer stretch between Petrie Island and Westboro Beach where there otherwise is no public access to the water. So River House opening its doors, inviting people to come for free to the public, enjoy the swim docks. This is game-changing. And for Ottawa Riverkeeper to be now located here, we can help mediate that relationship between the public and the river. And it was incredible to see the diversity of people, young and old from all backgrounds, different languages being spoken, who flocked to River House this past summer. It gives us such hope about how we can continue to deepen their connection with the river and maybe teach them a little bit about river ecology while they're here, so that they understand just what's under the surface, all of the inhabitants with which we share this incredible river. The NCC shared some of their numbers, and for the swim docks alone, so this was in August and the weekends of September, there were 35,000 people that came just for the swim docks. And at River House, to the whole building, the very first week there were 16,000 visitors. So for Riverkeeper, who has never even had a view to the river from our past offices, we've often sort of squatted or pitched tents in the backs of businesses, and they've been so kind to share space with us. But now we have our own space where we can help welcome the public to the river. And with that, we also have a public-facing programming space. That is really cool. We can welcome the public in. In fact, we had open hours for our learning lab this summer. And it opens up whole new possibilities for programming. Et aussi les nouveaux partenariats. Avec le Petrie Island Turtle Project, oui, j'ai dit le mot turtle, les tortues. Près de 400 œufs de tortues, ou près de 400 tortues ont éclos dans notre labo, de 3 différentes espèces. Et non seulement des 3 différentes espèces, mais des espèces menacées. That's right, we had almost 400 co-workers this summer who were little turtles hatched in the lab downstairs. And then on World Environment Day, we hosted a roundtable discussion with the Federal Minister for the Environment. This was just one of many occasions when we've used our new programming space to convene decision makers, community members, because River House serves as a meeting place, just as the river has since time immemorial. I believe that when we meet at the water, when we meet at the water's edge, our thinking is different. We're more centered, we're more relaxed probably, we're more connected. And there's a quote that I love. I think Geoff Green introduced me to this quote. To put your hands in a river is to feel the cords that bind the earth together. And so to bring decision makers together at River House, I think it will bring about better decisions. We will continue to convene decision makers and community members here. In fact, in June, we hosted our River Watch Network meeting. The River Watchers, who are over 100 volunteers, being the eyes and ears for the river, they convened here. We also hosted River Recharge, Maréchal Riveraine, a convening of ENGO senior leaders in the capital. And our boardroom upstairs, gorgeous, stunning views of the river on all sides, is available for rent. So if you want to have a meeting, then you can do so while supporting a great cause. Contact me for more information. Being at River House will raise our profile and allow us to exponentially increase our impact. In a decade where this work is needed more than ever, from our grassroots beginnings, we're now poised to have so much more impact for the river through our key pillars of science, education, and advocacy. I'll walk you through some of the highlights in each of those pillars from the past year. Now in science, we took 773 samples for our recreational water testing programs. We uploaded the results for over 300 swim sites across the watershed. And people listened. They looked to the swim guide in the watershed to find out if the beaches were safe to swim in. Il y avait 248 145 clics sur la plateforme Swim Guide. Nous célébrons un anniversaire cette année. Oui, c'est vrai, c'est le 10e anniversaire de nos programmes de sciences participatives. The 10th anniversary of community science programs at Ottawa Riverkeeper. Do we have any community scientists in the room? We do. They're a shy lot. In fact, you'll get to hear from a few of them later this evening. I had the pleasure of being a witness to the Standing Committee study on citizen science at the House of Commons. And we launched Road Salt Reduction Week, putting our science into action. You may have seen our road salt display here tonight. It is the season for road salt, so we're hoping you all walk away with a deepened understanding of what road salt use is effective. And what we found as we've been testing, I believe this is our 4th winter testing road salt now, that what we're finding is that in urban creeks and streams in Ottawa and Gatineau, by and large, the chloride results show that road salt is toxic to aquatic organisms. Most of our creeks and streams are beyond toxic levels. So action needs to be taken, and last year we held Road Salt Reduction Week as one way to increase awareness. But more on our science programs from our Director of Science shortly. When it comes to education, over 600 people participated in shoreline cleanups through Ottawa Riverkeeper, and many more participated using their own cleanups using iCleanup, our mobile app. Through our education programs, and we try to meet learners where they're at, so we do a learning library, a learning lab downstairs, classroom visits, virtual presentations, outreach booths, but in our education programs directly addressing students, there were 2,600 people that we reached. And our education programs are growing, because this is the largest potential that we have in being in this new space. Our 3-season learning lab downstairs can welcome classrooms in, and we're preparing to launch our first visits from classrooms this coming spring. So stay tuned. Next year there will be a big education update, I know it. We also convened a chief-appointed Algonquin Advisory Circle to inform our education and outreach programming here in a good way. That included birch bark building workshops with traditional knowledge holder Pinook Smith. And because of many reasons, the birch bark workshops began late in fall and are now on pause until next spring. So we'll be able to continue the birch bark building next spring. In fact, we have the status, the progress of the birch bark builds near the backs for you to look at this evening. And at this stage, the bark itself is still rolled up. It's quite impressive. I encourage you to have a look when the program is done. When it comes to advocacy, we were very active over the last year. In a couple of weeks, we turned around a mobilizing campaign on PFAS. So Health Canada and Environment Climate Change Canada accepted submissions and comments on PFAS regulations. Now these are per and polyfluoroalkyl substances that are a class of over 4,700 chemicals that contaminate drinking water and in fact have been found to be shown in all of our human blood. And so 325 people signed on to support our comments. What we can bring to federal and national conversations is a freshwater perspective. Being here in our nation's capital means that we can directly speak with parliamentarians and ensure that freshwater protection is top of mind in the legislation that goes through. Et en plus, nous avons soumis une lettre ouverte à Hydro-Québec sur la nécessité d'une passe à anguille au barrage de Carillon. We actively engaged on the federal government's updated policy on radioactive waste management, another another time when we as a watershed organization stepped up to speak on federal legislation, advocating fiercely for freshwater protection to be included, defending the use of the precautionary principle. And one interesting tidbit over the last year is that we were able to acquire the services of a government relations firm, Global Public Affairs, thanks to financial support from the Public Voice Fund. They've provided, Global Public Affairs has provided strategic guidance as we liaise with federal decision makers. And when that funded project was complete, well, they agreed to stay on as advisors to us for an additional year, donating their services in kind. It's this kind of partnership, it's this kind of support that really lifts up our work and amplifies what we can do. That's just a sneak peek of what we've done over the last year. There's more included in our annual report. Many of you receive our newsletter, and we also keep a blog on our website where we can go a little deeper into the issues as they're emerging. So we love that you remain engaged and continue to contribute as you go through the year. Many, many more exciting things are to come as we just are getting settled in here at River House. We're really just getting started, such as the release of a Watershed Health Report Card. More to come in a moment. And in the spring, here at River House, we'll install an in-stream monitoring station at River House. So what does that mean? We'll actually be installing a piece of equipment that will take real-time data from the river for 5 different parameters. This is thanks to funding support from the Ontario Trillium Foundation. And that means that when people come to River House, we'll have a display showing this data. We can help interpret this scientific information with and for them. And it will be from that same water where they've just come for a swim, or they've been learning about the turtles and the fish and the many wonderful creatures with which we share this river. So thank you to the Ontario Trillium Foundation for this support, for this equipment. And merci aussi à la députée Lucille Collard pour protéger la rivière grâce à ce don si généreux.
Merci beaucoup, Laurent. On invite maintenant Larissa Holman, directrice de sciences et politique, à venir nous présenter un aperçu de la santé du bassin versant de la rivière des Outaouais.
Over the past 5 years, we have been building up our ability to understand the health of the Ottawa River and its tributaries, thanks to the work gone into the Watershed Health Assessment and Monitoring Initiative. We are now preparing to launch our Watershed Report Card, a look at the health of the watershed based on 14 different indicators. We hope that this report will help provide some guidance towards the next steps in protecting the fabulous rivers of the watershed. Cet énorme projet est grâce aux efforts du Comité de la santé du bassin versant, l'équipe scientifique de Garde-rivière des Outaouais, les surveillantes et surveillantes, les partenaires membres de la communauté algonquine que nous collaborons avec, et plus de 100 scientifiques communautaires. While the health indicators we have identified are interconnected, we wanted to highlight some of the key relationships by grouping indicators together. For example, one grouping is primary productivity. You can see the sample page that we have behind, and we're going to be releasing the report card later in January, so this is very much a sneak peek. So primary productivity includes the materials that form the base of the river's ecosystem. Through observational monitoring, anybody in the watershed can submit an algal bloom report, while other community scientists are taking on more long-term monitoring of phosphorus levels. And when we compare these different data sets in different areas of the watershed, which is not being done by any other organizations, we are able to get a fuller picture of the state of primary productivity. The results that we're getting confirm that areas with higher agricultural land use are seeing increases in nutrients and increasing algal blooms. We also know that cities can contribute significant amounts of total phosphorus to the rivers. And as algal blooms are not only due to excess nutrients, but warm weather, we can surmise that climate change will further impact these events in the watershed. With the report card, we can paint a complete picture for decision makers so they can anticipate these threats and work to mitigate and deal with them. This initiative, and especially the data collected, is thanks to those many community scientists and river watchers. I'm going to invite a few of the community scientists up this evening to share a few of their stories with us. So if Katie, Mario, Janine, and Sean could please come up. Here they come, actual community scientists in the house. I was going to ask people to stand, but I recognize that these three people especially are so terribly shy. And they were all like, do you really want me to do this? And I'm like, yes, please come speak. So we'll have to give them a really warm applause afterwards. But first up is Katie. Katie is not just a community scientist, also a member of our Riverwatch community, and she has been sampling for road salt over the past couple of years, 2, 3 years? Since it started, since its inception. And so the question I have for Katie to share with everyone is, what do you get out of being involved in community-based monitoring programs as a community scientist?
Thank you, Larissa. So yeah, I went to university for aquatic resources, and I've been volunteering with the Riverkeeper for the past 8 years, I think since 2015. So when Larissa approached me with this opportunity, I kind of knew it was right up my alley. I work a desk job now, so just getting out there into the community and into the watershed is super important. And I know too the importance of a healthy watershed. So for me, just getting out there and communicating too with the community on a ground level. You're out there in the middle of winter with your boots on, trudging through the snow, getting water samples, and people are always looking at you like, what are you doing? And it's nice to be able to explain it to them. People think, are you fishing? Because we have buckets we're throwing in, so just being able to explain to them the importance of what we're doing, and also being able to talk about the Ottawa Riverkeeper and the work that they do. To me, that's the most important thing, and just being able to get these results. Right now, I'm monitoring the Nepean Creek, which I actually just found out is one of the worst in the entire city of Ottawa. So yeah, to me, just getting out there is really important.
La prochaine, c'est Mario. Qu'est-ce que votre expérience en tant que scientifique communautaire vous a appris sur la rivière?
Merci beaucoup pour l'invitation. En tant qu'ornithologue amateur et membre du club des ornithologues de l'Outaouais, je suis assez souvent sur le terrain. La vie-faune, pour moi, c'est quelque chose qui est super important. Et puis, je me suis dit que ça pourrait être intéressant d'essayer d'aider Ottawa Riverkeeper à accumuler des données, parce qu'en réalité, les oiseaux que j'avais observés sont dans le milieu aquatique pour une grosse partie. Donc, c'était un petit peu, l'idée, c'était un petit peu de joindre l'utile à l'agréable. Il n'y a rien de tel que de se lever le matin, puis sortir notre multimètre, notre échantillonneur d'eau, puis d'aller prendre un water sample au petit ruisseau pas loin de chez nous, puis d'entendre un grand pic ou d'entendre les citelles à poitrine blanche chanter. Autant sortir le téléphone, faire un petit checklist eBird, puis accumuler des données d'observation aviaire, tant qu'à prendre des résultats de road salt, par exemple. Donc, je trouve que c'est très agréable. Puis, qu'est-ce que j'ai appris de ça? C'est que, en fait, ça le résume. Je l'avais écrit, mais ça le résume encore plus facilement. C'est que, personnellement, moi, ça ne m'aurait jamais passé par la tête jusqu'à quel point le ciel, entre autres, pouvait avoir un impact, ou en fait, pouvait se retrouver dans le milieu de la vie-faune de la façon qu'il le fait. Moi, ça ne m'aurait jamais passé par la tête jusqu'à ce que je prenne l'appareil pour mesurer le sel, puis que je le mette dans l'eau, puis que tu vois que pouf, ça monte dans le plafond. Puis là, tu dis, mais non, ça se peut pas, ça ne va pas fonctionner, le machin. Tu le sors, tu le secoues un petit peu, puis tu recommences. Puis oui, de toute évidence, c'est ça. Puis j'ai vu des statistiques aussi que c'est comme 2-3 fois ce que je peux lire à mon petit ruisseau, qui est tout petit, mais il reste que malgré la petitesse du ruisseau, le sel, ça s'en va là-dedans. Même l'été, on peut en voir un petit peu. Donc, moi, je trouve ça que c'est quand même, c'est plate à dire, mais c'est fabuleux. En tout cas, on peut le mesurer. Puis, en espérant qu'en le mesurant, bien, on va éventuellement être capable de faire quelque chose avec ça. Merci.
And Sean, I noticed you came up without Janine, his intrepid partner, out sampling for the water. He monitors up in the Pembroke and Allenmount Island area. And again, what do you get out of being involved in community-based monitoring programs?
Hi. Sean O'Callahan. For the past 2 summers, I've worked with the Ottawa Riverkeepers monitoring both the Ottawa River and the Muskrat River. I grew up in Pembroke and spent many summers on the river. To the question of what did I get out of this, the answer is pride, satisfaction, the opportunity to give back and to educate my family and friends. Keeping the river clean and free from pollution at our cottage has always been my passion, whether it was raking the beach, picking up logs, plastic, and sometimes dead fish. Therefore, I've always been an unofficial riverkeeper, but now I'm an official one. I was fortunate enough to have seen an ad for volunteers to help protect the Ottawa River and its environment. That was right, also up my alley. I hope that I can continue to give back to protecting the rivers that I grew up on. Thank you.
Thanks everybody, and a hand to all of our community scientists and river watchers.
Thank you so much. Merci. We have a little thank you for each of the community scientists who spoke this evening. And I just want to say I'm so impressed. You know, I was feeling a bit nervous this evening, but they've helped shake off my nerves to know that it's a very friendly audience. And you know, it tends to be a more shy type who would just like to go and collect a sample, and that's the way they'd get involved. But they took that step to also share those stories with you this evening. So, aw, don't they look great too? Katie, Mario, and Sean, thank you very much.
And now it's time for the 2023 Water Leader Award. The Water Leader Award recognizes groups and individuals who are doing incredible work for the sake of the Ottawa River watershed and water protection in general. An outstanding contribution to swimmable, drinkable, and fishable waters, and an emphasis on community. Water leaders use their perseverance and vision to build movements and inspire their peers to step up for our shared river.
I will speak more about the Water Leader Award, but doesn't Maxime have the perfect announcer voice? He's on our education team. He goes going into classrooms. Is that the voice you use in classrooms?
All the time.
I love it. I love it. So yes, the 2023 Water Leader Award. Les leaders de l'eau utilisent leur énergie, leur passion et leur engagement pour inciter les autres à agir dans leur communauté. Les anciens lauréats du prix des leaders de l'eau, pour en nommer quelques-uns, comprennent la sénatrice Rosa Calvez, les fondateurs de Garde-rivière des Outaouais, les membres de River Surf Ottawa-Gatineau et aussi Autumn Pelletier. Pour remettre le prix de cette année, j'invite Colleen Mooney, membre du conseil d'administration, à monter sur scène.
Thank you, Laura. I am beyond thrilled to have the honor
of announcing that this year's water leader is Ottawa's very own Stig Larsson, CEO. I'm going to say a few words about you, Stig, so you don't have to come up right away. So Stig is the CEO of both Level 6 and the Terra Outdoor Group. And I've known Stig for over 25 years, as he and I, as well as Dave Rayner, the Ottawa Riverkeeper's managing director, worked together a very long time ago at Mountain Equipment Co-op. So Stig left us to start a company that began from a very humble beginning, selling shorts and t-shirts from the back of a van to paddlers on the World Cup circuit. Since then, his company, Level 6, has grown considerably and now sells gear for paddle sports all around the world and is still headquartered here in Ottawa. In addition to becoming a hugely successful company, Level 6 has a strong sustainability ethos and is dedicated to conserving watersheds and giving back to the water sports communities. Every year, they take 1% of their direct retail sales and donate it to various watershed conservation organizations across North America. As well, they've shown leadership in the sustainability field, and in 2022, Level 6 was awarded the coveted Sustainability Award at the International Paddle Sports Show in Lyon, France. One of Level 6's initiatives that is near and dear to Ottawa Riverkeeper was the announcement recently that they have eliminated all long-chain PFAS, the forever chemicals that Laura was just talking about, from their production. They are committed to removing these chemicals from their entire line of products, as well as transitioning to recycled fabrics and petroleum-free neoprene in all of their products. They are also working actively to increase the diversity of participants in the outdoors and have partnered with a number of different organizations across North America that give youth and adults from disadvantaged and diverse backgrounds the opportunity to enjoy outdoor activities. And finally, they are generous sponsors of community events across the globe, including our very own Riverkeeper Gala. So I could not be prouder that Stig Larsson is this year's water leader. So Stig, please come up and accept your award.
Thank you. I wrote a speech, but I think Colleen already stole all of it. So, yeah, I'm a horrible speech person. I'm a rambler, so I wrote stuff down so I didn't embarrass myself up here. So, first of all, thank you so much for this. It's a true honor for sure, because my whole life has been about being on the water. And I just want to kind of talk briefly like how I got here, how I became, like, I worked at MEC, I became founder of Level 6 paddling gear, and then we became a leader as not only in paddle sports in general, but also in sustainability. Colleen touched upon it. We were PFAS free as of this year, the first in our industry. We were the first brand to be 100% recycled fabric as well a couple years ago. Again, first in our industry. We changed the way we do our packaging as well in all of our garments. So we eliminate over 100,000 plastic bags in our entire chain annually. Again, first in our industry. So all of this kind of comes from a small little Ottawa brand that, started off as a paddler who didn't really know much about doing anything with garment design, and here we are today. So thank you for all your support. I know there's a lot of paddlers in this room. Half of the speech Colleen's already said, but I would say that when we first started at Level 6, it was really about giving back to the community and changing the way businesses interact with the environment. Obviously, I started off as a paddler. I came to Ottawa. Cheryl Boyle's here. I trained with her at the pump house. Part of being a paddler back in that day, you were instrumental in making sure the Breton Flats was a paddleable river, and it certainly wasn't back then. Every time it rained, you certainly, you paddled at your own risk. All of that has changed now in a large part to the Riverkeepers. But being part of that community and getting kids involved in slalom, getting kids involved in the river, turned into a passion of mine, and I ended up making the World Cup slalom team. I traveled around the world and I got to meet other paddlers. And you realize that we all have the same connection with the river. The river is extremely important in how you connect with your community, and of course how you connect with the environment. So when I finished my first year on the World Cup circuit, it ended up being 7 more years of that and representing Canada around the world, which is was a huge honor for me. I wanted to start a brand that kind of brought together the river community and the river culture. And I knew I didn't want to start a brand that was building shorts or paddling gear, but it had to give back to the community. So right away we were really focused on community involvement. We have our youth scholarship program. We give it back to Project Canoe, the Riverkeepers. 1% of all of our direct sales go back to watershed conservation globally. Getting underprivileged youth and Indigenous peoples back into the water sports world, and with the goal of these becoming extra advocates to help carry on what we're doing here today. They will carry that on to the next generation, the generation after that. So the rest of it Colin already said. So I'm going to say thank you so much for everything. These are huge, huge shoes to fill, and I promise to fill them. Thank you.
Congratulations, Stig, and thank you, Colleen. While we're in the mood for celebrating the people who protect the river, tonight's event marks an important milestone for a key player at Ottawa Riverkeeper.
After many, many years of service, Geoff Green is stepping down from the role of board chair. Tonight, we get to celebrate all that he has achieved and contributed in his tenure as chair of the board of directors of Ottawa Riverkeeper. I would like to welcome Colleen Westeinda to the stage to say a few words.
Geoff, I cannot imagine Ottawa Riverkeeper without you. You've been the chair since 2010. You've worked with 3 riverkeepers who are here tonight, Meredith, Elizabeth, Laura, and you've helped us grow from a small to today's impressive organization tackling so many important issues. You have creative ideas, great contacts in the environmental sector, and bundles of energy and charisma. You started the Gala, our successful annual fundraiser, first time held here this summer, which has allowed us to do so much more to protect our watershed. You dreamt of a home on the river for us and worked tirelessly to bring this amazing building to life. It's been a pleasure working with you for the past many years. We will miss you, your experience, your organizational memory. I am thrilled, however, I'm not sure if I'm announcing this ahead of time. Okay, I'm thrilled that I'm not losing you though, because you stepped up to co-chair the River House fundraising cabinet with me to ensure that your legacy, this wonderful building, will live up to its full potential. So on behalf of every single living organism in the Ottawa River watershed, miigwech, merci, thank you.
So we'd love to hear from you, Geoff, but have a seat because there's a few more people who'd like to say a few words.
Hi, Geoff. I want to congratulate you for your years of dedicated service to our community through your chairmanship of the Ottawa Riverkeeper.
Kitchi miigwech, Geoff, for being such a dedicated leader and helping to steer the canoe downriver to the grand opening of River House.
Just from someone downstream, the watershed, appreciate so much what you have done and used your energy, fundraising, awareness raising, making connections for the Ottawa River and all of its precious inhabitants.
It's such a pleasure to recognize the passion and dedication of Geoff Green. From the Arctic to Ottawa, he's been such an inspiration to so many people.
I just wanted to pass on my personal appreciation for all the hours you've put into advancing Ottawa Riverkeeper. Very important. and most appreciated.
The amount of patience, effort, care, and insight that you have brought to the Ottawa Riverkeeper is incredible. And the number of years you were able to sustain that energy is also miraculous. So kudos to you. Thank you for everything that you have done.
Been the captain of this ship, HMCS Ottawa Riverkeeper, and you've taken us through some great times, some choppy waters, but through it all, you've been the anchor, you've been the mentor, you've been the leader that we've needed.
On behalf of a lot of people, I can't say Ottawa Center anymore, but on behalf of a lot of people, thanks very much.
I'm making this video to thank you very much for everything you've been doing for the Ottawa Riverkeeper as a long-serving chair.
I value very much the work we did together to solve some difficult problems and set new directions.
Wow, what an amazing career you've had. I can't believe it. And I can't believe all of the good work that you've done for Riverkeepers.
I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of all the people of Ottawa for the incredible work you've done and the legacy you have left in championing and protecting the health of the Ottawa River.
I'm here beside Tenagadino Zibi, the beautiful Gatineau River, the largest tributary of the Ottawa River, and a river that I know enriches the life of Geoff Green.
You have done tremendous work to advance the impact of the organization and to support the entire vitality of the watershed. A huge thank you to you for all you've done.
I wanted to take that moment from Martinique to express my gratitude for your incredible influence on my journey and the monumental impact you've had on the cause we both hold dear.
Tu m'as inspiré. Tu m'as inspiré à fonder la mission Milton. Tu m'as inspiré à mobiliser des milliers de personnes pour la protection des cours d'eau. Tu m'as inspiré à être capable de retirer des centaines de tonnes de déchets des cours d'eau. Tout ça parce que tu t'es rencontré.
Thanks for all your hard work, commitment, and contribution toward making Riverkeepers a tremendous success.
Listen, having traveled with you to the ends of the earth, I know that you have a unique ability to not only communicate a plan, but to dream it up in the first place and to build teams to make that happen.
Alors, mon beau Geoff, une belle soirée de reconnaissance pour toi, très bien méritée. Puis, laisse-moi dire que ce fut un plaisir pour moi de te connaître. Gérard, je pense que tu es la personne que je connaisse qui s'est le plus dévouée pour l'environnement.
Hey, Geoff, have you heard the one about safe harbor? It goes like this. A ship in harbor is safe, but it's not what ships are built for. You, my friend, are a ship, and even more importantly, the best kind of captain. Thank you for your long tour with Riverkeeper. You encouraged us to see far over open water.
Like everybody, wanting to give you a huge kudos, congratulations, and thank you for all the work you've done. Working with the existing Ottawa Riverkeeper team and all the people that you brought on, building up the team, building up the organization, incredible impact.
Congratulations on your many years as a tireless advocate for the Ottawa Riverkeeper. We're going to miss you. You were always a vigorous and ferocious defender of the interests of your organization.
I want to take this time to thank you for your role in making my 6 years on the Ottawa Riverkeeper board such a wonderful and rewarding one. Your tenacity, your vision, your hard work ethic were an inspiration to us all.
Thank you for all your hard work and sacrifice and fun. It's been a lot of fun. So let's keep the fun going. Thank you.
So just seeing that sparkle that you have in your eye when it comes to the environment and protecting nature, it is a gift to humanity, and it's a gift to our children, to my kids. I'm personally very grateful for your wisdom and your passion.
Whether you're in Temiskaming, Renfrew, Hawkesbury, they see the river as something that they all are very connected to and that they need to contribute to as a whole. And you presented this picture, unified picture, very successfully, I think. And that's something that probably only you could have done as well as you have. So.
Je voulais te remercier et te féliciter pour un travail sans relâche, un travail acharné. Tu as fait en sorte que l'organisation est devenue incontournable dans le bassin versant de la rivière des Outaouais.
Thank you so much for your time with the Ottawa Riverkeeper. Under your leadership, we've gone from being a small to a mighty and impactful organization.
There's an ethos which captures our kinship with all rivers. I am the river is me. And as your neighbours along the Gatineau River for many years, we've certainly felt that connection. And it has spurred my own ongoing work for the law to recognise the Gatineau as a living being. For your inspiration, thank you.
The actual world should thank you for making this place and an effort to make it a better place for us, but our kids in the future in life. So I think you've done a lot, and my feeling is that you're going to continue doing that because you're just so passionate about it and that it's undeniable. Merci énormément, Geoff. Thank you so much.
You have positioned Riverkeeper as a force to be reckoned with, and you are leading a strong organization that is on the cusp of many more great achievements.
On ne s'est pas connu beaucoup au sein des Ottawa Riverkeeper, les Garde-rivière, mais j'ai été quand même capable de comprendre certaines choses à propos de toi. Premièrement, ta grande passion, qui était respectueuse et contagieuse pour tout ce qui s'appelle le bassin versant et pour les Garde-rivière en tant que tel.
I think one of the biggest successes you've seen is bringing so many people to this organization, so many people to come together and care for the river. That's an even bigger legacy, so thank you.
I was born on the Ottawa River, as were all my ancestors, and I've lived within sight of it most of my life, and I really appreciate that we in Ottawa at this point are beginning to really highlight this treasure in our midst. Thank you.
As your dad, I've known you since your impatient arrival at birth 2 weeks overdue, and you've been making up for lost time ever since. I am very proud of you for your many accomplishments, and I can imagine the joy, the enthusiasm, and the networking you brought to the Ottawa Riverkeepers. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Geoff, do you want to say a few words? Geoff.
Wow, I didn't expect that. You're not supposed to make me cry before I'm supposed to say a few words. But thank you so much, everybody that was part of that wonderful video and that were in the video and made that video and kept it a pretty big secret. Even my dad. Wow. You can see from the background where my dad was, there were a few shippy type maritime things, and you know that's where it all started, I guess, back then. Yeah, I guess let me try. I did write a few things down, so let me see if I can get through this. But thank you so much. Yes, 3 river keepers. I survived 3 river keepers, really. 4 actually, because Laura is part of that. But love them all. It's been an honor to serve on the board of the Ottawa Riverkeeper. It's been such a great journey, and it's been amazing to watch this small but very mighty organization grow and evolve over these 2 decades. It's grown and evolved in so many ways in terms of its impact, its influence, its reach, its reputation, its budget, and now of course its new home. What a special place this is for us to be now. But it's been so easy and such a joy, because when you believe so much in an organization and its cause, then it's easy to commit to that, and that's why you are all here tonight, and why you're all part of this incredible organization. Because like many of you, if not all of you, the Riverkeeper cause really hits close to home. Really our home, Mother Earth, and more specifically our home here in this incredible watershed, the Ottawa River watershed. We're all connected to different parts of it.
some to this main, mighty, incredible river that's such a huge part of our country, but also to the lakes and the rivers and the tributaries and the creeks and the wetlands and the swamps and the forests and all these habitats for life. The crawlers, the swimmers, the four-legged, the two-legged, the flyers, and the plants. Fundamentally, it's been about water and that source of life. And we have it at our fingertips where we live here. We are so lucky, and I don't think we do take it for granted, at least not anymore. But what a great place to call home. How lucky we are to drink from it, to swim and play in it, to skate on it, to walk beside it and just look at it. And it really does flow through our lives. So what could be more important? Not too many things, and that's our mission that brings us together, to inspire awareness, cooperative action towards a healthy watershed for generations to come and all species. So, yeah, knowing I had to say a few words tonight, I did some reflecting and wanted to just share maybe a few of the highlights or the special moments over the years. And there's been so many. One was remembering the first time I actually saw the Ottawa River. And I don't know if and maybe some of you remember your first encounter, but I'm pretty sure it was as a 14-year-old, or maybe 13, on a grade 7 class trip to Ottawa, and looking down at the river from the Parliament buildings. It was my first time to Ottawa, and seeing those rafts of logs, and how much things have changed since then. But little did I know at that time in my life that I would become intertwined with this river, as well as this watershed and really water all around the planet. But that's the way life goes, isn't it? Sometimes you turn left instead of right, and your whole life can be different. And our journeys, that's what makes life's journey so amazing. So some highlights. The twinning of the Ottawa River and the Potomac River was pretty cool. That was in partnership with the NCC, the US Embassy, the Canadian Museum of Nature, and our Washington counterparts. And I think that's something we're going to be building on in the years to come. And it's great to see Bruce Heyman there, who was the ambassador at the time. The signing of the Gatineau Declaration. That was during one of the Ottawa River Summits that Riverkeeper was so instrumental in leading. And that Gatineau Declaration still holds true today. It was a shared commitment to protect this watershed by leaders throughout the watershed, including the two mayors of Gatineau and Ottawa, the two ministers of the environment from Ontario and Quebec, and the chief, yes, and probably Meredith too signed that one. Imagine if we could host in the future, not just another Ottawa River Summit right here where you're sitting tonight, but the Capital River Summit. As most capital cities around the world have rivers that flow right through them. That's why they're there. That's why we're here. So another small little project for the future. I'm happy to help out on that one. But we can share.
I'm looking for a volunteer.
We have a lot to share and a lot to learn. And with everything happening in the world today, maybe causes like this where we're protecting what is in our backyard is one way to get to those larger, loftier challenges that we're facing with climate and biodiversity loss and so on. A fun one was taking Alexandra Cousteau sailing during one of her visits to the Ottawa Riverkeeper. She got seasick. However, we later learned it's because she was pregnant and didn't know it. So I have the claim to fame of taking one of the youngest Cousteaus on their first sailing trip. I remember Meredith Brown and I walking down the lawn in front of Parliament Hill after an event we had, I think it was at the Speaker's Reception Hall for Riverkeeper. And on that walk, Meredith asked me if I'd considered being the chair. And I guess I said yes. I just didn't know it required like an 18-year commitment. But I do need to thank Meredith for introducing me to Riverkeeper and getting me involved. So thank you very much, Meredith. Buying our first Riverkeeper boat. First of many to come, I hope. We do have some dock space now where we can dock these things. But that was another Geoff Meredith adventure. I don't even know if we test drove it. We just like, yeah, boat, let's buy it. And it still floats and it still works today. Hopefully some of you have been on it. Going over $1 million budget for the first time. And that was especially incredible because many of our first early annual budgets were about $100,000 or less. So to get to $1 million and beyond now, those are great moments in this organization's journey and history and always celebrated. And speaking of celebrations, the Riverkeeper galas. Who's been to a gala? Okay, you guys all have to come. It's been 10 years of the best parties in the city of Ottawa and Gatineau. Always on the river or beside the river. And of course, the most recent one was right here. And Julie Black was on stage singing right up here. All the great new bylaws and policies. No, I'm just kidding. I hate those. But they're important. Seriously though, our board meetings from that little storage closet room, I think, at the Trailhead building, to some more generous, fancy boardrooms that were donated for our use over the years, to the basement of our Bay Street office, kind of dark and dingy, but it worked. All those great Zoom meetings during COVID, not. And now to the best boardroom in the city, just above us in the Riverkeeper office. And as Laura mentioned, it's for rent. The eels. I never knew I'd grow to love eels, like many of you. Who loves eels in this room? So I got an email this morning with an eel update from the one and only Sandra Lawn. And apparently they found an eel this week near Prescott. So everybody's rushing down to see this eel. But we love eels. Overall though, and you feel it in this room tonight, the positivity and the good karma that the Riverkeeper represents and creates, and the incredible people that it attracts, that's been the best. The people, the Riverkeeper staff, the board, past and present, the volunteers, the river watchers like the ones here tonight, the partners and the donors. That's really been where the magic has happened. And most of these, if not all, have become friendships. It's been fun. Like as a board, it's always been, we've always been on the same page. Like it's been about building and growing and doing good work, and very little adversity facing the causes, but the board itself's been so united, and it's been a lot of fun to share those successes, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be been a part of so many great people and friends. So yeah, as of last week, I'm no longer the chair of the board, but I'm thrilled that Colleen Westeinda, who was just up here a few minutes ago, she's taking over as the new chair of the board. And Colleen has been on the board for many years. She's led numerous committees. She's just been a fantastic leader and member of our team. So knowing that she is taking over, together with our great executive team, Margot, Fred, and David Coletto, as well as the extraordinary board that we have, the incredibly strong staff team, it just makes me feel so excited and optimistic about the future for Ottawa Riverkeeper. And to have all of you involved as well, to really tackle those opportunities and challenges that So I know I'm handing the paddle, as it were, into strong hands to keep this journey going. And yeah, maybe as one of my last duties, yes, I'm gonna use my last act as chair to have a shameless ask for donations. Giving Tuesday, total coincidence, I'm sure that our APM is tonight, but about 2 weeks ago, I issued a challenge, and maybe you can help, but to double our number of monthly donors. So if you're a monthly donor, you are a river champion, and I became a monthly donor many years ago, and you forget you're even giving after a while. It just comes off of a credit card, and you don't even know it. So it's a huge, it's a great way to support, and yeah, all jokes aside, maybe consider becoming a monthly donor. So in the river spirit, go Riverkeeper! Thank you very much.
So we have a few thank you gifts for Geoff. We will put all those videos on a USB key for you. And we have a paddle. That is our tradition to thank Geoff. This paddle has a special inscription because along with the gifts after such a tremendous journey of being the chair of the board, that we now have a new title, Chair Emerit. And Geoff Green is the first person to hold the title, so it's Geoff Green, Chair Emeritus with Ottawa Riverkeeper. And that's inscribed on the paddle. And his legacy is multifold, but one key piece, this big vision for this small organization to dream about moving into a heritage boathouse like this on the river, it's very much been led by Geoff. And so we have a photo by our own staff photographer, Mark Bernards, of this gorgeous building to thank him. Oh, he wants to say something more. I thought your duties were done, Geoff.
No, thank you so much. This is amazing, and Chair Emeritus. Yeah, it sounds like I'm very old, but Mary, you're not old, and you're the Emeritus Riverkeeper, so I might need to come get some lessons. Maybe I'll grow a beard and start smoking a pipe and wear a tweed jacket, but I don't know if Diz, my wife, will be happy with that. Where are you, Diz? I want to also thank Diz, because she's been along for this ride with me every step of the way. So thank you, Diz. Let's hear for Diz. And yeah, stepping down as chair doesn't mean not being involved. It's a lifelong commitment, isn't it, for all of us to be supporters of the Riverkeeper, so I won't be far. Merci beaucoup. Thanks for coming tonight, everybody. And thanks for what you do for Riverkeeper.
Geoff, a heartfelt thank you for the legacy that you're leaving all of us. Here, I have a few little words I want to say. Some famous Geoffisms that you have taught me. That the river is the report card for the watershed. That you cannot protect half a river. That flexibility is key. And that when you are really, truly acting in a good way, that you are acting in the river spirit. You brought that into your speech as well. It is such a Geoffism.
Et oui, merci énormément, Geoff. Vous nous laissez un legs incroyable et nous ferons de notre mieux pour poursuivre cette mission que vous avez chérie si longtemps et que vous continuerez certainement de chérir.
So there were a few few announcements shared in there as well. So as Geoff steps down from the chair of the board, that Colleen Westander steps up as chair. Colleen is also co-chairing the River House Campaign Cabinet. So this is our first ever major fundraising campaign so that we can live up to the potential of everything we can do from this new space. And with that, Monsieur Michel Drouin is stepping down from being co-chair of the campaign cabinet. Is Michel here with us this evening? Oh, okay, so thank you so much to Michel for his tenure of co-chairing the campaign cabinet, and that Geoff Green is stepping up to co-chair along with Colleen. So there's a lot of continuity, of stability, of a really engaged team, and we will soon be recruiting for new board members as well, so keep that in mind. Okay, whew, that's a lot for one night, but I want to leave some last words from Maxime.
Votre support et vos encouragements, vos contributions n'ont jamais eu autant d'impact qu'aujourd'hui, et le monde n'en a jamais eu autant besoin qu'aujourd'hui. We turn toward the river, we care for the environment, our biodiversity, our ecosystems. We're grateful for water because it is life. And we show our waterways the love and care that they deserve. Because we know, as literally as it could ever be, our lives depend on it. So with that, thank you for being part of this movement.
So we have grown so much as an organization. I think some of you remember our past 8 annual public meetings in like a community gym. I've heard stories of this. Well, now we have this our own space to gather in, and so it's such a joy to have you all here this evening. This concludes the program for the annual public meeting. There is more food and drink and fun to be had. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech.